this is Russ, back on the road again, and it happens to be a Sunday. Yeah, I haven't done a Sunday ride in a while. Typically I'm at church. I play on our church worship team. But today we were expecting to do certain things, and some of the plans fell through, but we still have other things to do. So let me tell you real quickly what we did. Our typical weekends, my wife and I will go grocery shopping on our bikes. She rides her bike, I ride my bike. Somebody asked me whether my wife still rides her bike. Yes. She doesn't ride like me, all right? I mean, I'm out all the time. She only rides to go to the grocery stores. That's about it. And so we did 2 grocery stores, and then we went back home, and she's done. So I'm back out again myself. It's quite windy today, but the weather's decent. It's low 70s currently right now, probably about 71, 72, something like that. My perfect ideal conditions, so that's why I'm out. Now you might notice too that I am wearing my black long sleeve shirt that my daughter and son-in-law gave me to help cut down the issues with the sun tanning. Yeah, I've gotten quite tan. So yeah, it's going to help on the long run. I have this, and I have a yellow safety shirt as well. And this time I did not forget my gloves. I am wearing my gloves. But a couple of things first before we talk about other things. First off, I wanted to say thank you very much to all those people who had bought helmets from the review. And that has definitely helped me out because I get a very small commission every time you buy something like that. And I appreciate it. Yeah, actually, any of the affiliate link things that are in the description of my videos, if you buy any of that stuff by clicking on those links first before you make your purchases, it helps me. So, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. It takes you 2 seconds to click on it. So thank you for that. So where am I headed today? I have no idea. I wasn't thinking I was going to go out because it is a Sunday. I don't usually like riding on the weekends, but lately I've been doing more and more weekend rides as well because I have to take advantage of the days when the weather's cool. If I do it just on days I would typically do it on, then it's not necessarily that the weather will be good for me. So my preference is 70 degrees, really. And if we're anywhere between, say, 70 to 75, I want to be out there. Oh, here's another interesting thing. Yeah, another bug flew into my face again and into my mouth. Yeah, I had to spit that thing out. I don't know what it is that has increased the bug population this year. I have no idea, but that's the second bug this year that's flown into my mouth. Luckily, not down my throat. I was lucky to be able to just spit it out. So that's bug number 2. Hopefully, if we get a bug number 3, that bug number 3 gets spit out as well and doesn't go down the throat. All right. So you might recognize this street as the path we take when we go to the post office. But yeah, we're not going to the post office, but I'm still taking the street anyways. It's just somewhere to go, something to do. There's areas of town around here that I've never been to. So I figured, well, let's see where it goes. So what else has been happening? Well, I still haven't gotten the fork yet from the other bike company. We got a damaged review bike that came in. FedEx essentially dropped it on its fork end and bent the fork. Actually, the fork didn't bend. What happened was the thing that the axle would attach to, that part of it, those two things bent. So, and well, okay. There's a little section on the fork that is like almost like a handle in front of the fork. That bent too. So they did some major damage to it. I mean, for them to be able to bend just that one part would tell me that they dropped it pretty heavy on it. I just hope the rest of the bike is okay when we finally do the review. But, you know, we won't know until the whole thing's built up. Then I get to test it again. Let's talk a little bit about the health issues. Yeah, I'm still coughing. I'm surprised it's taken this long. I try my best to suppress it. But I think it is something like maybe post-nasal drip. I don't know. It's not the kind of cough that, you know, you feel like you got a cold or you got COVID or something like that. It's just like little tickly coughs. And then sometimes it gets kind of severe when I just go into a coughing spasm. But in general, it's just little tickly coughs. It's nothing major. So if you hear me sometimes kind of stop a little bit and I'm not talking, it's probably because I'm trying to suppress the cough a little. So this road here is relatively busy. I don't like to take this road. I'm talking about the one going left and right here. This cars are passing us. I don't like to take it, but the road that I'm on is not so bad. It's actually designated as a shared road with bikes and cars. So hopefully they know that. You know, I do know that. You know, okay. We got a couple bicycle guys across the way from us there, and they're waiting at the stop light on the sidewalk. I do see that more often than what I do, you know, where I'm actually on the street with the cars. But again, I go a lot faster, so that's just the way it is, right? Alrighty. Time for us to go. Alrighty. So we're doing pretty good. Overall, I have an ambulance behind me, but of course they're not running with sirens or anything like that. They're just driving. So here's an interesting thing I did to the Magicycle just today. I decided to limit the Magicycle's maximum speed in the menu. You know, at one time I had it at the full maximum 24 miles per hour, but I'm not going to do that. So I decided 28 miles per hour. What am I saying? And so what I decided to do is I was going to limit it to, say, 24, just to see what happens. And I noticed that, you know, if I throttle, I can still pass that 24, I think. I'll have to double check it again. I didn't do the full speed. We're not in an area that probably warrants it at this point. So maybe in an area where I can check out the speed, I'll see if I can throttle the full 28, even though the limit says 24. I have a gut feeling I can still throttle past it. I think what it's going to do is it's going to limit the pedal assist to whatever speed that you have it set for. I would say there's a lot of cars out today, surprisingly. What time is it? It's 9:52 Sunday morning. So this area has a speed limit of 20 miles per hour. So we will definitely try to maintain that on the road here. Or at least under that, one of the two. Now we went down this way before. Well, okay, we came back this way before when we went to that one park. I think we went. Yeah, I think this is a street we may have gone on. Let's take a right. Let's see what it looks like down here. This general area is considered the downtown area. There are older homes out here, which would make sense because if this general area is the downtown area, then that would mean the house has been around a while for that to happen. The other areas we've passed in the past are newer homes, of course. New construction happens in time, and then neighborhoods build up. Not the newest. I think most of those homes are probably early 2000, maybe. Yeah, we'll go forward. Let's see what happens. Oh, no outlet. It says no outlet. I just turned and looked. Yeah, well, go forward. Let's see what it does. Let's see where it goes. It's kind of like an exploring day for me today. I just want to kind of get out and see what's there. Yep, they're not kidding. No outlet. Caution. Approaching gates. I don't think the gates approach. I think you approach the gates. What do you think? All right, well, we're not going to their gates. We got to turn around. Yeah, nice leisurely ride on a Sunday. Hey, do you guys do that? Do you guys go out on leisurely rides? Or do you do like me and usually have a purpose of what I'm doing or where I'm going? And, or do you just ride around and look around? I mean, that was a question that was posed before. Russ, do you just ride around and look around? Not that often, but I do it. All right, let's try down this way. Go down the other block. And people have said that they like these little tours that we do here. Check out the neighborhoods and stuff. Check out the cars we pass. That's a Porsche. All right, do you say Porsche or Porsche? I call it Porsche, but I know a lot of people just call it Porsche. We talk about a little of everything today. We're not doing anything important today. We're just kind of leisurely going around. Yeah, I've always called it Porsche. I believe that is the proper pronunciation of the vehicle, but I think here in the U.S. we tend to truncate everything. It's called Porsche. But no, I've always called it Porsche. It's like Volvo. Do you call it Volvo or do you call it Volvo? Oh, no outlet. We're going to turn. I'm looking at the last minute here. Do you call it Volvo or do you call it Volvo? I once worked at a company when I moved to San Diego, and one of the girls that worked there, she said that her dad was some regional manager or something of Volvo. And that was the first time I ever heard of it called Volvo, because I've always heard it as Volvo. So so that's how I learned that. She told me that the proper pronunciation of the word is Volvo. Never knew that. See the little things you learn while you're on the job, right? Now, I think there's pronunciation of certain words that we take for granted that is the proper pronunciation, but may not necessarily be. Okay, I'm going to let some cars go by first before we move on. Let's head back a little bit here. So how's the bikes doing overall? How have they been holding up? People have mentioned before in comments that your hub motor bike will not last as long. Well, I haven't had these bikes that long. Last year I purchased the Rad Rover 5, still going strong. The Magicycle is going strong. I haven't noticed a difference, but I think they said it'll take a couple years and then your motors will die. How did they know that? I don't know. Unless they bought some years ago and that's what they experienced. I'm hoping that the motor technology has improved since then, and maybe we won't have that problem. But I haven't noticed any loss of anything. I think the Rad Rover 5 is the longest one I've had, and it seems to be holding up just fine. As you know, we passed 3,000 miles on it. So, yeah, at least for 3,000 miles, it's gone well. Oh, okay, here, let's talk about this now that we talked about that. Somebody asked me, how many tires have I gone by now that I've had 3,000 miles? Now, that is a good question. People are anxious to find out, okay? Do these Kenda tires on the Rad Rover 5 hold up? Well, there's a couple of things you have to remember, too. I'm a heavy guy, which means I put a lot more weight on the bike and the tires, and that's going to affect its performance. And then you have to look at the surface you ride on, right? As you know, I ride mostly on pavement. I don't ride on gravel. And what else? Hill climbing, all that kind of stuff. I mean, every little thing plays into whether your tire is going to wear out or not. But knowing all those things, knowing that I'm 250 plus pounds and I ride on pavement and I ride relatively fast, I did a tire rotation at about 1,500 miles. So I took the front tires. I'm talking about the original tires that came with the Rad Rover 5. I took the original tires, I rotated it, throw the front ones to the backs to the front, at about 1,500. I figured that'd probably be a good idea. Let's do a tire rotation. But then after I moved the back ones to the front, the back ones, of course, wear out faster than the front because that's where your drive train is, right? And that's where all the weight is because I'm sitting on it. So it takes more of a beating than the front tires do. So that original rear tire came to the front and I just did not feel comfortable with it. Where should we go? I'm trying to avoid, let's go down this way. Yeah, if we go this way here, straight ahead, that would be down the paths we usually do. Let's just take the side streets that we've never done before. That original rear tire, which became the front, I didn't feel comfortable with it after I switched it over to the front. I felt like I wasn't turning and gripping as well as I did before I made the switch. So in other words, it was, I wouldn't say it was bald, I would just say it had less knobs and less knobbiness from the original and even from the worn out 1,500 front tire, which became the rear tire. I don't think this goes anywhere. Well, we'll just follow it. So I didn't feel comfortable with it, so I decided, okay, I'm just going to replace that tire altogether. So in that sense, I would say I got about 1,500 miles before I lost out my rear tire. Okay. Now, I could have gotten more. I think if I just left it alone and left it in the back, I probably could have gotten more. Oh, we're back to where we started here. We just did a circle here. All right, let's go this way. All right, let's just go down the path. I mean, we always do, anyways. I'm gonna take a left over here. Okay, this guy's letting me go, so thank you very much. All right, so yeah, I think I could have gotten a couple more 100 miles out of that thing. I would say if I just left it alone and didn't even do a swap, probably could have got about 1,800 miles out of it. Now, I've heard some people say that after about 900 miles, they lost their tires. I don't know what they're riding on, but I got at least 1,500. Okay, I think I could have got a couple hundred more. All right, so those front tires became the rear tires, and I put a brand new Kenda tire. Good morning. I put a brand new Kenda tire on the front. Now, eventually, after 2,600 miles, which was the end of my season, I decided the rear tire, which was the original front tire, was pretty much shot at that point. So I changed out that rear tire to a brand new rear tire, and that's what sits on the thing right now. So I've got the front tire would have, let's see, 2,600 minus 1,500. Okay, so I have 1,100 miles on that front tire right now with a brand new rear tire. My hope is that by the time that front tire eventually wears out, where I don't trust it anymore, which would be maybe 1,500 miles more, all right, which would be the time that I would have had a 2,600 mile run on it again, then the rear tire might be totally shot at that point too, because remember I said the rear tires tend to wear out faster than the front tires, in which case then I would switch all tires at that point. Morning. Morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. So I believe the lady had an e-bike because I saw a battery on there. Didn't note what kind of bike it was though. So anyways, so I would say the Kenda tires seem to last anywhere from 1,500 miles to 2,600 miles for me, depending on whether it was a front or it was a back tire. But that's my strategy of replacing tires. So the next tire change will be totally brand new fronts and backs on that rad. Now I'm going to assume that the Magicycle will have a similar type of tire usage. Morning. So because the two bikes are very similar in size and weights and all sorts of stuff here. Okay, we got a couple of little kids here. We gotta be careful with them. Thank you. Kids are looking at it's kind of staring at me. So yeah, I think that's probably what's gonna happen. All right, we're going up the hill. This is our infamous hill. Let's see what we get for the apex here. 16, 15.9, 14.8, 13.9, 13.9. Yeah, that seems to be common. With pedal assist and throttling, I get about, we'll call it 14 miles over the top of the hill. Now, I've seen people huff and puff going up that hill with a standard bike, non-electric bike. Still deciding what I want to call it. Definitely a lot more people on the path. A lot more people on the path than during the weekdays. So hopefully that answers the question for the tires. Let me know what your experience has been with your tires. If you've had your bike for a while, have you swapped them out? Did you do a tire rotation, or did you just get rid of all the tires at one time? How did you deal with it? Alrighty, well, I think we've had it long enough for today. What do you think? Yeah, let's call it a day. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time.